is enough for me. Paper planes will make you see simplicity. We gonna rock this bar. You look like a superstar. I wanna show you things I love about you. Holding hands and feeling so cool. All the things I love about you. Cherry lips and kiss anytime. You're so nice to make me feel right. Giving looks and dancing all night. Can we are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? I just don't wanna know where you are or where you go. Don't wanna know if love can make you mine. Deepest thoughts can come alive. I wanna show you things I love about you. Holding hands and feeling so cool. All the things I love about you. Cherry lips and kiss anytime. You're so nice to make me feel right. Giving looks and dancing all night. Can we are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? I wanna show you things I love about you. Holding hands and feeling so cool. All the things I love about you. Cherry lips and kiss anytime. You're so nice to make me feel right. Giving looks and dancing all night. Can we are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power? We are the superstars. Superstars. Are we the ones who have the power?
Welcome to the radio show Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus+. Here we are, a few volunteers from all over Europe, and our discussion today is going to be around superstition. That's why, because we had dinner on Saturday and we were talking about Friday the 13th, which was last Friday, and started talking about superstition in our own countries, so that was very interesting, and we decided to make a radio show of it. We would first like to introduce ourselves. My name is Naidís and I'm from Iceland.
My name is Thordís and I'm also from Iceland.
I'm Victoria from Ukraine.
My name is Yeva from Lithuania.
My name is Kata from Hungary.
Well, welcome, girls. First, I'm just gonna define what superstition is. It is the belief that some sort of behavior can lead to something bad or prevent something bad from happening. So we're just gonna start by playing the song Superstition by Stevie Wonder. to the radio show Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus+. Now we are discussing the topic superstition, and we were just wondering what was the origin of superstition, if it was maybe a thing to make people not do stupid things. So Yeva, what do you think about that?
I think some of them could have been to prevent kids from doing something, or just, for example, in Lithuania we have a superstition about shoes that you should leave them together, one besides the other, and if you don't, it brings bad luck. So I think that one is for kids, so they would remember to put their shoes at the same place.
Also in Iceland, I think a lot of superstition becomes, or like originates from folk tales and from just people being actually kind of scared and like telling the children not to like run outside and not to do this and that, because people in Iceland mostly in like old times believed in trolls and elves and everything like that. So we have like a big thing in Iceland where there are certain stones or hills where the elves live. So like if you hurt them or do anything to the stones, move them or anything, it brings you bad luck. So we like bend our roads around the stones and hills so that we don't like affect the elves. Do you have anything similar in your countries?
I have never heard about it, but for example, I know about one superstition, and the origin is like kind of to outsmart other people. We had a army, like warriors in Ukraine for some time. During history, we call them Cossacks, and during Napoleon War, when Cossacks drove away the French army back to Paris, and they were like drinking in French like Parisian restaurants, and Cossacks noticed that at restaurants they were charged per like empty bottle on the table, not for the bottle that was ordered, and they decided to hide empty bottles under the table so they won't be charged for them. And now actually it's a superstition. It's a bad luck to leave an empty bottle on the table. We always put them down.
Alright.
There are superstition from tale, Hungarian tale, and there are lucky numbers, for example 3 kings, 7-headed dragons, and the opposite, there are bad lucky numbers, for example 14, and with and Friday with associated with bad luck, and may have a biblical origins. Because in the New Testamentum there were 13 people present for Jesus before Christ. Before Christ.
Are you talking about the Last Supper?
Yes,
Yeah,
Last
there were
Supper.
13 people
Yes,
there,
Last
yeah.
Supper on Thursday, and the day before Christ's crucifixion on Good Friday. Yes.
I also read like on the internet that 13 was considered like an unlucky number. Because of that, there were 13 people at the Last Supper, and also because the number 12 was supposed to be some kind of a holy number. It was like perfect. There were like the 12 disciples of Jesus, and then there are 12 months in the year and 12 zodiac signs. So 13 was like the number that breaks the perfection. And I also read that Friday is considered a bad day because Jesus was killed on Friday. And also in ancient Rome and Britain, the executions were always proceeded on Fridays. So that was like a bad luck.
Talking about supernatural beings, in Lithuania we have one superstition about, we call them naminukai. It's a kind of small being that lives in your house. So people weren't supposed to take the trash out in the evening because they believed that during the night those small people, they would find the food and enjoy themselves. So if we take the food, we like starve them.
Alright. Next we're gonna play the song Mirrors by Justin Timberlake.
Aren't you something to admire? Cause you shine at something like a mirror, and I can't help but notice you reflect in this heart of mine. If you ever feel alone and the glare makes me hard to find, just know that I'm always parallel on the other side. Cause with your hand in my hand and a pocket full of soap, I can tell you there's no place we couldn't go. Just put your hand on the past, I'll be trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong. I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. The vacancy that's set in my heart is a space and now you're home. Show me how to fight for now, and I'll tell you, baby, it was easy coming back into you once I figured it out. You were right here all alone. It's like you're my mirror, my mirror staring back at me. I couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside of me. And now it's clear as a promise that we're making two reflections into one. Cause it's like you're my mirror, my mirror staring back at me, staring back at me. Aren't you something and original? Cause it doesn't seem really as simple, and I can't help but stare cause I see true summer in your eyes. Ooh, I can't ever change without you. You reflect me, I love that about you. And if I could, I would look at us all the time. Just with your hand in my hand and a pocket full of soap, I can tell you there's no place we couldn't go. Just put your hand on the past, I'll be trying to pull you through. You just gotta be strong. I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. The vacancy that's set in my heart is a space and now you're home. Show me how to fight for now. I tell you, baby, it was easy coming back into you once I figured it out. You were right here all alone. Oh, it's like you're my mirror, my mirror staring back at me. I couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside of me. And now it's clear as this promise that we're making two reflections into one. Cause it's like you're my mirror, my mirror staring back at me, staring back at me. Yesterday's history, oh. Tomorrow's a mystery, oh. I can see you looking back at me. Keep your eyes on me, baby, keep your eyes on me. I don't wanna lose you now. I'm looking right at the other half of me. The vacancy that's set in my heart is the space, and now you're home. You show me how to fight for now. You show me, baby. I tell you, baby, and it was easy coming back into you once I figured it out. You were right here all along. It's like you're my mirror, my mirror staring back at me. I couldn't get any bigger with anyone else beside of me. And now it's clear as this promise that we're making two reflections into one. Cause it's like you're my mirror, my mirror staring back at me, staring back at me. Oh. right up since you put me on. So now I say goodbye to the old me, it's already gone. And I can't wait to get you home, just to let you know you girl, you're my reflection. All I see is you, my reflection in everything I do. You're my reflection, and all I see is you, my reflection in everything I do.
Welcome back to the radio show Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus+. We are here a few volunteers from all over Europe talking about superstition. Now we were playing the song Mirrors. There is one very famous superstition about mirrors, that if you break one, you have 7 years of bad luck. Well, I broke like a giant mirror in my best friend's house like 10 years ago or something. It was very, very bad, but I don't know if it actually haunted me or not. Maybe. Do you know any other mirror superstitions or anything?
Only that if it's about to break, you have to take it outside and bury it somewhere in the ground. That way you can avoid bad luck.
We have one superstition with mirror, but it's to prevent another one. So if you went somewhere and forgot and you need to go back home, it's a bad luck to go back. But if you look in the mirror and change something in your appearance, it's believed to prevent your bad luck.
Okay.
Mirror breaking and salt spilling are also bad luck in Hungary, and mirror breaking will 7 years, 7 unfortunate years will follow. So yes, also bad luck.
Yeah. So do you have any superstition to prevent bad luck, like Vika was talking about?
We also have the same one in Lithuania. I think it's because we're close enough and we share the same influence, so we have similar superstitions, a lot of them actually.
Well, in Iceland we have the thing that, or like I don't know if many people do it, but at least my parents always do it, that if they are wishing you good luck, they do like a spitting sound, because like if you spit behind a person, then it brings him or her good luck. So always when I had like difficult tests or anything, they would like so that would be like good luck.
Yeah, the same in Ukraine, but also it's believed to knock 3 times on a wooden object, so to prevent bad luck. And
Yeah.
the same.
Or spit 3 times over your left shoulder. That's also
Yeah, okay.
to prevent bad luck.
Yeah, the same in Hungary. So the similar situation if they ask the medicine, so never say thank you.
Yeah, so in, well, my opinion, always when I say always or never, I knock on wood and say 7, 9, 13 in Icelandic, 7, 9, 13, because I believe that saying never or saying always, it means it's going to happen. You're just bringing bad luck. So, do you do this as well?
No, we don't in Lithuania.
Okay.
I do knock.
Okay. Next on, we're gonna play the song Witchy Woman by Eagles. Welcome back to the radio show Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus+. We are here talking about superstition, and we were talking about mirrors earlier, and now I would like to talk about... Kata, you had talked about the numbers, that you had numbers in your folk tales, like 3 and 7 and 14. Do you have any numbers that are bad luck or good luck?
I don't think so, or at least I've never heard, but in fairy tales always numbers like 3, 7 and I think 9 also are like good numbers to use. Or 12 actually.
Okay. Like there's like a saying in Iceland, allt þegar þrennt that means like everything works when it's the third time. Like if you fail and you fail again, then you say, well, everything works in the third time. Like, so you try it the third time and it's definitely gonna work.
Yeah, actually we do say that the first one is always bad and the third time is always lucky time to if you get something wrong or so.
Yeah, in Ukraine we have the same, but we like say that the God allows Trinity. That's why the third time will be the luckiest one.
Alright, yeah.
And also if the third is not the best, then the fourth is like must work.
Okay. Then I would like to ask you about when you walk under a ladder. You know that one?
Yes, we
Yeah.
do.
So do you believe that if you walk under a ladder, it's gonna bring you bad luck?
I myself don't believe in any superstitions, so
Okay.
I don't believe in this one too.
Okay.
I have never heard about this one in Ukraine, so.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, me too. So we have good superstition. For example, 4 leaf clovers or horseshoes, or when you meet a chimney sweeper. Yes,
Is that good luck?
Yeah,
Okay,
it's good
okay.
luck.
Okay.
Good luck. So it's things.
Yeah.
I have one superstition. It's a bad luck for a girl to sit at the corner of the table. It's believed that she won't get married for 7 years.
Oh my.
But old people, like, not to scare her, say, like, some kind of prevention. They say the sharper the corner, the faster she'll get married.
Okay. Well, I would also like to say about the number 13. We had talked about that being an unlucky number. Well, in some cases it's considered good. And like in Iceland, we have 13 Santa Clauses. They come the 13 days before Christmas. Then we have on 6th of January, it's called Þrettándinn, which means just the 13th. And that's because it's 13 days after Christmas. So we know that this day is like the Christmas day in Catholic religion. So is the 13 like considered a good number in that case, or?
I don't know, but I do consider 13 is a good number because I was born on this day.
Oh, okay. Okay, but you knew that, or like, I don't really know why we have this 13 days after Christmas celebration. Do you? In your
Ukraine
religion?
is Orthodox religion, so we don't have this. And actually on 6th of January we celebrate our Christmas.
Yeah, that's 13 days after our Christmas.
Yeah, but I have never knew this information.
Yeah, okay. Because we have like on always bonfires, and we we like finish our leftover fireworks on this day, and we believe that like elves are running wild on this day.
I know that on this day, the 6th of January, is like the day of 3 kings or 3, I don't know, we call them smart people.
The wise men, yeah.
Yeah, wise men, because on that day they visited Christ and gave him gifts. That's
Yeah.
in Catholic religion.
Okay, yeah. And I would also like to ask you if you have seen that in many buildings there is no level 13. Have you noticed that?
I haven't, but I've noticed that on planes they don't have the seat number 13.
Yeah, the seat row 13 is like skipped. It's just 12 and then 14.
Yes.
Because there are so many people that are superstitious when they're flying because they're so
Yes.
scared. So they don't want to sit in the seat row number 13. So, yeah, that's to prevent them from breaking down or something. So, we will play next song called 13 by Johnny Cash.
Bad luck, wind been blowing at my back. I was born to bring trouble to wherever I'm at. Got the number 13 tattooed on my neck. When the ink starts to itch, then the black will turn to red. I was born in the soul of misery, never had me a name. They just gave me the number when I was young. Got a long line of heartache, I carry it well. The list of lives I've broken reach from here to hell. Bad luck, wind been blowing at my back. I pray you don't look at me, I pray I don't look back. I was born in the soul of misery, never had me a name. They just gave me the number when I was young. I was born in the soul of misery, never had me a name. They just gave me the number when I was young. They just gave me the number when I was young.
Welcome back to the radio show Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus+. We are here a few volunteers from all over Europe, and we are talking about superstition because last Friday was Friday the 13th. And now we would like to talk about superstition around pregnancy. Thordís, would you like to tell us?
So in Iceland we have a lot of superstition around pregnant women. For example, if you walk under a ladder and you're pregnant, the baby will be a stillborn. Another one is if a pregnant woman sits on a meadow and a fox runs over her feet, the child will be born very hairy, so he will have lots of hair. Another one is when a pregnant woman cannot walk under strings to dry their, strings that are used to dry clothes, because then the navel cord will wrap around the baby's neck. And the last one in Iceland, well, we had a lot more. These were the ones that we chose. If a pregnant woman eats an egg by a rock ptarmigan, the baby will have freckles. So, do your countries have any superstitions with the pregnant ladies?
Yes, Lithuania has a lot. I remember only a few of them. So one of them is bad, that if a pregnant woman is in a cemetery or in a funeral, she must go out of the building first before the dead person is being carried out, because if she's not the first one, then the baby will be stillborn. Also, we have a few like if a woman sleeps on her left side when she's pregnant, that means it's gonna be a boy, and if she sleeps on the right, it's gonna be a girl.
In Ukraine, we have one superstition. For example, if you sit on a chair that a pregnant woman was sitting, it's like, for example, at work, so it's like her seat, and you sit on that chair, you will be pregnant as well. Yeah, like that.
So it's contagious.
Yeah.
Also, I remembered one more. It's that if a pregnant woman is very afraid, she must not touch herself soon, because if she does, the baby will have a big birthmark on the same spot where she touched herself. Which I do have one like that.
What? So have you asked your mom if she was?
No,
You're
she
scared.
said that she heard a different one, which says that if she saw a fire while she was pregnant, that means that's why I got it. But I do know the medical reason why I have it.
All right. Well, there's also this superstition about a black cat. And if a black cat crosses the road in front of you, it brings you bad luck. Do you know that one?
Yes, of course.
So do you have any superstitions in your countries around cats or any other animals?
Yes, we do. We do have the black cat one, and we also have that if any other color cat runs over the road, it will bring good luck, but it depends on the side which she crossed. Like once from left to right, it's for girls, and from right to left is for boys. Like it only brings good luck if the gender is the same.
In Ukraine, we believe that first in a new house should enter a cat, and when he will like settle down, it means the good spirit lives there, so it's a good spot. And also, when he likes to sleep, you should definitely put a bed there.
We haven't a superstition about our animals, so we have don't belong to any group. So, for example, if you your elbow bump your elbow for into something, and then you will have guests, for example, and if you palm cheese right left palm cheese, you get the money. And then if you write palm cheese, you will spend the money. So it's
We also have a few superstitions about birds. So one is that the first gawk that you hear in the spring, if you have to have money in your pockets, and that will mean that you this year will be full of money, and if you don't have that, well, bad luck for you. We also had that if a bird knocks on your window, it means he is bringing bad news. Or that if birds nest under your roof, it means that the house has good spirits and it's a good place to live.
Vika, you were talking about spiders earlier. Would you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it's considered in Ukraine if you find a spider at home, it's like forbidden to kill it because it's a bad luck, and spiders are like a symbol of well-being and richness.
Yeah, in Lithuania we say that if a spider lands on top of you, it means that you will get rich very soon.
Well, you were talking about when you enter a new house for the first time. We have a superstition in Iceland that you always have to bring bread and salt with you to prevent hunger in your home, and then you have to bring coins as well to prevent poverty. Next, we're gonna play the song Get Lucky by Daft Punk.
Like the legend of the phoenix, ends with beginnings. What keeps the planet spinning? The force from the beginning. Love. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 The present has no ribbon. Your gift keeps on giving. What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get. 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 We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We've come too far to give up who we are. So let's raise the bar and our cups to the stars. She's up all night to the sun. I'm up all night to get some. She's up all night for good fun. I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night to get lucky. 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 We're up all night to get lucky.
Welcome back to the radio show, Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus+. We are here talking about superstition, and I would like to talk about superstition and weather and seasons. In Iceland, we have a superstition about that if you leave a rake, like a rake you use to get grass, if you leave it with its teeth upwards, then it will rain. And if you step on a blacksmith as well, it will rain. So do you have any superstitions like that in your countries?
I don't know. I think we do have some, but I can't remember right now.
Yes, we have the weather on each day between 13 24 December, so it's 12 days. We'll forecast the weather for each month in the next year.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's clever. And we also have this superstition that the night before the first day of summer, which is like a holiday in Iceland, the night before that, if it freezes, then it's going to be a good summer. If it doesn't, it's not going to be a one. And then in US and in Canada, there is this day called Groundhog Day, 2nd of February, where they have like this groundhog that goes from its nest, and if it sees its shadow, it's spring will start late. But if it doesn't see its shadow, spring will come soon. So, do you know any superstitions like that in your countries?
No, not really.
Okay. Do you have any superstitions, like if you're lucky in love, then you're unlucky in cards?
Yes, but
Okay.
the backwards. If you're unlucky in cards, that means you're lucky in love.
Yeah. Anything else?
I don't know.
In Ukraine, we say if you're like unlucky in studying, you will be lucky in love.
We also have this thing that if you have a hiccup, then somebody's talking behind your back.
Yes,
know that one?
we also have this one, or that if your ears are getting hot, it also means that someone's talking about you behind your back.
Ah, wow, my ears are always hot. Okay. And yeah.
Yeah, we say when someone is sneezing that someone is just thinking about that person.
Ah, okay.
Yes, we have that also.
Yes, in Hungary, if you have a hiccup, so someone talk about you somewhere.
And everyone always says something when someone sneezes, like God help you or Gesundheit or something like that. I read that that was like some kind of superstition, that if you were sneezing, then it's just the start of cold, and then they would say God bless you, because if you get a bad cold, it could like.
Yes, in Lithuania we say "Sveikata," which means be healthy. So it's also like wishing someone to be healthy.
Do you have any superstitions regarding weddings? Like in the US, they always say that you need something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue.
We only have one superstition, that when a couple moves into a new house, the man has to carry the woman inside. But I don't know anything about having something during the wedding.
Yeah, we have the same, like a bride has to have something blue always, something new and something old. And also after the marriage is registered, already husband should take a wife into his hands and take her to the house in his hands.
Also, I believe part of the same one is that after the wedding in the church, the man has to carry his bride through a bridge. And if he's strong enough, that means it will be good, and so on.
Well, we also have this superstition in Iceland, like when you are graduating, you're not allowed to put your graduation hat on your head before you graduate, because then you won't graduate. So I was like, when we were graduating this spring, I was actually kind of scared, so I didn't put mine on until I had finished all of my exams, so that I was sure that I wouldn't fail.
When my sister graduated, she graduated 4 years before me, and I didn't know that this was a superstition. So I put the hat on, and she walked into the room with me, and I had the hat on, and she said, "No, Thordis, you won't graduate," and I cried. But I did. It's okay. It's not true.
The song "Lucky" by Britney Spears.
This is a story about a girl named Lucky. Early morning, she wakes up, knock, knock, knock on the door. It's time for makeup, perfect smile. It's you they're all waiting for. They go, isn't she lovely? Is Holly
got it.
Finally, we've done it 15 million times.
People, let's reset.
And the winner is
I'm Roger Johnson for Pop News, standing outside the arena waiting for Lucky. Oh my God, here she comes!
Then she loved me, this Hollywood girl. She's so lucky, but why does she cry? If there is nothing missing in her life, why do tears come at night? She's so lucky, she's a star, but she cries in her lonely heart, thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come at night? She's so lucky, but she cries in her lonely heart, thinking if there's nothing missing in my life, then why do these tears come?
Welcome back to the radio show, Hugs Online, presented by CEI and supported by Erasmus+. We're talking about superstition here, and I would like to talk about Mondays because they're often considered the worst days of the week. And in Iceland we have a superstition where fishermen don't go out on their first row on Mondays because it brings them bad luck. So Vika, would you like to tell us a little bit about Mondays in Ukraine?
Well, I have never heard anything about it, but I know about one song in Russian. It's from the movie, I think, and it's called Unlucky Island. And it's sang in it that all people who live on that island are unlucky because their moms gave birth to them on Monday. Yeah, that's why they're unlucky.
And Eva, would you like to tell us a little bit about superstitions in Lithuania?
Yes, we have a few I didn't mention. So one is that if a spoon, a fork or a knife falls on the ground, it means that someone is coming to visit you. Also that you must not walk so that you and your best friend or a boyfriend is separated by someone else or a tree or any object, because it means that you will have a big fight, and not to do that.
Yeah, in Ukraine we can prevent this superstition by just holding hands again and saying hello to each other.
Also, there's one that you must not give a clock as a present, because you're inviting them to a funeral.
And then we would just like to say thank you for listening to this radio show. And I would like to tell you about the radio show Storytime that will start on Thursday from 2 to 3.
The first theme will be traveling.
Okay, and we will see you then, and also on next Tuesday at the same time, Bulgarian time. Thank you very much for listening, and now we're gonna play the song Thriller by Michael Jackson.